You
Hey,
should
chill.
be eating crow
With me,
tonight instead of spaghetti.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, you should.
That's the best you got?
Because I told you, Chris Broussard, I told you.
Told me
I
what?
told you 1,000 times.
Told me what?
That Baker Mayfield would never play for the Browns again.
Did I say he would? Hold on.
I told you.
Hold on, no.
No.
I'm not going to sit here and listen to a 7-minute rant of something I never said. I never said he'd play for the Browns again.
Chris,
I said he
listen,
should.
though.
He should.
You kept talking about
So if
him
you're gonna be critical,
go
hold
with
on.
your tail
Hold on.
between your
If
legs.
you're going
go
to
between
be-
your tail between your legs because nobody wants you. You're not going to be anywhere. No, I told you that there would be a deal at some point, and they would wait
No, you
and
didn't.
wait
You said
until
he'd
the
get
Browns
bought out.
finally, until
Stop
the
it. You're
the
just
Browns
lying.
had to.
You get
had
on
to do what they
national
had
radio
to.
and actually lie?
I'm not lying. Everybody
said
knows
they
they've
buy him
listened to
out.
you.
You said
Talk
nobody was
over and
traded.
over.
All right, go ahead.
Every NFL guy who came up, Chris threw out the idea of Baker going back. Even yesterday, Ephraim was like, "No, he's not going back there. He'll never go back there." And you kept pitching this idea of him going back because that's the only place he could play and nobody else wants him. And now he gets a new lease on life in Carolina. And this is what was going to happen from day one. This notion that he never was going to play anywhere was nonsense. Teams were waiting
Who said that?
until the Browns
Did somebody
were
say
willing to finally do what they had to.
Unbelievable. Who you chastising? Some phantom people? Who
No,
said he
you.
wasn't going to play next year?
You.
I said he wasn't going to play next year?
No, I didn't say you said that, but
no,
you
you
made it
just
like
did.
nobody wanted him. You said, "Oh, nobody wants you. You should go back to the Browns. Go back with your tail between your legs. That's the only place you're going to go, and you should just go there and play for them." No, they humiliated him. I told you, anybody with any kind of gumption would have no part of the Browns. No way, no how should Baker Mayfield have ever entertained going back there. I don't care what your situation is. I don't care about Deshaun Watson. Let me go. Release me. And they didn't do that, and they finally got a draft pick. Okay, it's done, finally. That's my point.
All right.
Rob
First of
Parker.
all, I guess LeBron James has no gumption. LeBron James, 4-time MVP, 4-time NBA champion.
That's his hometown.
No. I listened to you.
That's his hometown.
I listened to you. Can I speak? LeBron James, I don't care if it's his hometown. Your premise was not, if it's your hometown, you can go back. Your premise was they embarrassed you. Don't go back. Anybody with gumption wouldn't go back. And yet, the guy that you think plays the game of basketball better than everyone ever except Michael Jordan went back. When the owner completely went off on him in historic fashion, unlike anything we've ever seen in sports. And LeBron James was the bigger man, and I'd say he's a man with plenty of gumption, and he went back and he won a championship, the biggest championship of his career, the only championship ever where a team came back from a 3-1 deficit.
Okay, do you want your story,
I'm not
or do
done.
you want me to give you the real
Just because
story?
I don't have
Okay,
the
go
corny
ahead.
music
I'll
playing
give you the real
doesn't
story
mean
after
I'm
you're done.
Let me
with
finish.
this nonsense. You're
Let
trying
me
to
finish.
trying to peddle because
And
you
I'm
were
serious,
dead wrong
Rob
on
Parker.
this. Dead wrong. Everybody listening to this damn show knows that Chris has been on this Baker Mayfield playing for the Browns for weeks, months, and it was never going to happen. And you kept talking about it.
Are you going to let me talk? Are you going to let me talk? I'm asking you a question. Are you going to let me talk?
I'm not talking, so talk.
Well, when I start talking, keep your trap shut. You come up here, and I don't appreciate it. If you want to say, if you're going to be critical of me, then be critical of facts. Never once did I say Baker Mayfield was going to play for the Browns again. Never. I said he should. I didn't even think it would happen, and I said that numerous times. So don't come up here talking about you were wrong. If you want to say that my notion that he should is wrong, fine. But you didn't say that. Then you said, I've been saying all along somebody would take it. No, what you've been saying all along is the Browns would release him. And then the team would take him. So don't, you're lying on me. You're lying on your own take. And here's the thing. The Carolina Panthers gave up a 5th round pick. And here's the kicker, Rob Parker. You up here, oh, they want him so bad. It's great for him. He's paying them to play for them. He is literally paying them to play. That's really, they want him that bad? Why are they saying then give up the $3.5 million, Baker? That's how unwanted he was.
Chris, you know the economics of the NFL. You don't even know the NFL economics. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Got up here
because you don't even know the economics of it.
Why are you saying go ahead if you're not going to let me talk? Baker Mayfield agreed to a $3.5 million pay cut to make it happen. He agreed to it. The Panthers thought so little of him that they said, even when the Browns said, we'll pay $10.5 million, Carolina wasn't even willing to pay $8 million. They said, nah, dog. I mean, we'll give you a shot, but $8 million? No, come on. $8 million for Baker Mayfield? No way. Oh, Baker, okay. You talk about tail between your legs? Okay, I'll take $3.5 million less. Just have me. Just take me on your team, please. I mean, that's what you got up here and told Alex play some music about. That's the big victory. That Baker Mayfield had to pay a bad team to take him. That's your big win, Rob Parker? My God, have you no shame? Should be embarrassed coming up here trying to sun somebody. You should be embarrassed
for your NFL take on this because they still gave up a draft pick.
What does that mean? What other type of take would it be?
They also have another quarterback that they're paying the same amount of money, 18. That's why they're not going to do two quarterbacks at $18 million. It makes total sense financially.
It would have been 8.
And Chris, if they didn't want them, they didn't have to pay the $10 million, and they didn't have to give the draft choice. So all I'm saying is you misread this. You misread it from day one.
How? I never predicted anything.
Yes, because you're making it like
he was going to play for the Browns.
Today. Like he lost because he has a chance to be a starting quarterback.
He literally lost $4 million. He lost $3.5 million, Rob Parker.
If they had,
that's not a loss. That's the very definition of a loss.
And they didn't even have the balls to release him because it's a financial thing, and that's why other teams waited because it's financially. Really? If the Browns were doing what they should have released him the same day that they signed Watson. Because. Why?
And then they would have got nothing for him. At the very least, they got a draft pick for him.
Well, I mean, why didn't Carolina hold out and say no pick, Chris, if they didn't want him? I mean, they could have just waited him out.
When the guy's willing to pay you to play.
You were wrong about Baker Mayfield that he wouldn't be in this situation.
What? Wait, what? What was I wrong about? Do you listen to me when I'm on the show?
You said nobody wanted him, Chris. You kept saying you should go back to the Browns. Nobody wants you. There's no market for you. We can play the tape. That's what you said.
This was my reasoning for playing for the Browns. That he would be with a playoff team, or at least a potential playoff team. That it was the best chance for him to succeed. That was my reasoning. Now, we'll see if that turns out to be right. If he succeeds with Carolina, leads them to the playoffs, great. But my point was Carolina and Seattle are not good teams. And if you go there, you're likely to struggle. If you play for the Browns, a coach and system that you already know, players that are very good and give you a chance to make the playoffs, that will up your value next summer when you're a free agent. That was the logic. And the last time, which was just a couple days ago, when I said he should do this, I said the Browns should pay him $10 million extra. They should pay him. But here's the reality, Rob Parker. The Browns didn't want him. The Browns never went back to him. Baker said last time we heard him speak, well, what would have to happen, Baker, for you to put? Well, I mean, there had to be some reaching out. So he was open to it. If they reach out, we'll see. But they never reached out because they didn't want him. And what do you always say? They know him better than anybody. They've had him 4 years.
Chris, they committed $230 million already to a quarterback. They already did that. There's nothing else you can do at that point.
Jacoby Brissett
Come on, dude.
than Baker Mayfield.
Just admit that you misread the room. Can you do that?
I didn't read the room. I gave
You misread the room. Just admit it, Chris Broussard.
I won't admit to something that's not true, Rob Parker.
You misread the room. That's what you did in this situation.
What was my read?
You misread the room that nobody wanted him, and he should go back to Cleveland. Cleveland was never going to bring him back.
To play for
never.
them.
No,
he's literally paying them.
Stop. They already have a quarterback in the same exact situation.
He's literally paying to play like this is high school in a downtrodden town.
You
gotta pay for your shoulder pads.
You sound ridiculous.
Pay for your girdle. Pay for your thigh pads.
There's a financial situation in the NFL that you've ignored.
That's a financial situation.
And you act like it doesn't matter. It does matter from day one. And I told you.
Real talk, though. We do have to make a rule. When you're talking, I'll be quiet. When I'm talking, you please be quiet. I mean, really.
No, I'm against that rule. You go ahead and do what you want.
It doesn't sound good to the listeners.
It sounds fine to me.
You're not the listener. It's to the listeners. We're trying to get through to the listeners, not you. So kind of put your ego aside and put the listeners first.
No, you
please?
Put your ego aside. I don't have an ego.
I put my ego aside. I'm willing to be quiet and listen to you.
If you would put your ego aside, you would just admit that you were wrong and we can move on.
Admit what?
That you misread this whole scenario.
I didn't read it.
He was never playing. You told him that he should go back to the Browns. Stop it, Chris. It was never going to happen. Never.
Rob Parker, I said he should go back to the Browns. That's not wrong. It don't make it wrong that he still should have gone back to the Browns. If the Nets trade Kevin Durant and I say they shouldn't have traded Kevin Durant, that doesn't make me wrong. Just means they did something different. If I said they weren't ever going to trade Kevin Durant and then he gets traded, that makes me wrong. If I had said Baker Mayfield was going to play for the Cleveland Browns this year, that would make me wrong. You should know that as a journalism professor. So don't come on here and lie on me.
I'm not lying.
877-99 on Fox. 877-996-63.
You're highbrow like you can't be wrong. It's ridiculous. You misread the room that you did. You were wrong on this the whole time. He was never going back to the Browns. I told you every time you brought that storyline up about him going back, I told you it wasn't going to happen.
And I never said it was going to happen.